What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're talking about Fly Me to the Moon. So let's get into that. Hi, my name is Leo, and if you guys like talking about movies, TV shows, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and you have come to the right place. And like I said, today we are talking about Fly Me to the Moon. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Now, I was actually very excited for this movie when I saw the trailer for the first time ever, getting Scarlett Johansson, Channing Tatum in a Apollo 11 kind of alternate reality movie about the launch and the faking of the Apollo mission and the moon landing. That put me in the seat immediately. I absolutely love anything that has to do with space travel, anything that has to do with astronauts and NASA and SpaceX and all that stuff. That is me. You know, if I find someone that likes space, I can go on and on about theories and space and galaxies and black holes and all these different things. I just absolutely love space. And this is obviously a little more grounded. This is the first time we send someone to the moon, but just even that alone is such an interesting story, especially how things kind of played out, especially with the whole space war, or space race, I should say, between the US and the Soviet Union at the time. So it definitely brings a lot of stakes to this movie that I absolutely enjoyed, while also having some fun with it, some comedic relief at certain times, and having a nice little romance in the background as well. But without taking any much more of your time, let's go ahead and straight into the positives. And like I said, I absolutely love this story. I think the story is so fun, where we have a historical event that people have so many conspiracy theories about, that the moon landing is fake, that it never happened, that people think that the moon's not even real at all. You know, there's craziness out there. People still think the earth is flat. You know, there's so many conspiracies out there that I think this movie is so fun that it kind of plays into that, where the government is forcing this woman played by Scarlett Johansson, who's kind of like this advertiser and kind of scammer in her entire life, to fake the moon landing and, you know, make people believe that this actually happened, just in case the Apollo 11 mission failed. And, you know, who knows? Maybe this is true. Maybe there was a secret facility where they were filming the moon landing just in case it failed, because I am a firm believer that it did happen and it is completely real. But you never know. So, but this is definitely going to feed into people's conspiracy theories and stuff. But I absolutely love that they kind of played into that and they had some fun with it. I really enjoyed that. And not only did they have fun with it, they took it in a fun role, but also in a very serious role at the same time, where it definitely affects everybody. You know, if this got out to be fake, and, you know, you see things happen while they're filming it and stuff, if things like that got out to the public about the moon landing being fake, you basically lose trust of the entire population of the United States. You lose trust from everyone. You cannot trust the government at that point anymore. They blatantly lied to you on TV. And this was during a time where everything was being broadcasted. You know, this is during the Vietnam War, and this is one of the first times that, or I should say the first time, I think, that war was actually displayed on TV and not just in the newspapers, or not just from word of mouth. You actually were able to see it. There's people on location filming the war, so people were able to see this stuff from home, and to also have this broadcasted of this, you know, moon landing at home. It makes it a little bit more real. It makes it more palpable for people. And especially during a time where you're trying to beat the Soviet Union to the moon, there's just so many different stakes. So to fake it and it going completely wrong, that you lose all credibility as a government body to the people of the United States. So there's a lot of stakes in that sense as well. There's a little bit more of a smaller stake as well. You know, you have the bigger obviously reason why you wouldn't want to do this, but you have the smaller reason where you have Scarlett Johansson that is kind of being the producer of this fake moon landing happening, and then you have her relationship with Channing Tatum that throughout the entire film has been up and down. You know, she does something to get on his good graces, and then she does something to get off his good graces, and it goes up and down, and also not only the government losing the trust of the American people, but you have Scarlett Johansson's character of Kelly losing the trust of Channing Tatum's character. And that is very important between their relationship, of course, and especially for someone like Channing Tatum's character that kind of had a opportunity stripped away from him, you know, him in NASA, which is very unfortunate. It's a very sad story as well. And for her to kind of do this, it's something that is distrustful toward Channing Tatum's character of Cole. And he has so much passion for these missions, so much passion for the astronauts, and, you know, being a part of this journey, that something like that would just break his heart. And I just love how you see that continuously going on, where the relationship is up and down, where you have Scarlett Johansson being in a very conflicting position where the government wants her to do a certain thing, but she wants to do the right thing for Cole, Channing Tatum's character, and it just leads for an actual very nice, refreshing romance story that's not your traditional romance story where, you know, things don't go right because whatever the case. I don't even want to bring up examples, can't even think of anything, but this seems like so much more at stake, and it seems more connected to the certain characters, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed their chemistry. I think it was very believable that they liked each other, but I also like that just because they liked each other doesn't mean that they didn't go at their necks for doing for kind of, you know, bringing up things that they did wrong. So I think it just felt very realistic, and, you know, bringing that point, performances across the board are done very well. Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum, of course, do amazing. They're very charismatic and charming throughout the entire film. You have someone like Woody Harrelson, who's this kind of like secret agent government body, like second hand of the president as well, trying to manipulate this landing. So I enjoy performances across the board. I think this movie was just so much fun. You know, while it still takes itself serious enough, there's still that fun element to it that it just makes it enjoyable throughout the entire runtime. I was thinking this movie was just shot beautifully as well. Just from the beginning, I just love the way this movie looked visually, the shot choices, the directing. It just was so crisp seeing it on screen. So I absolutely love the way this movie looked. It definitely kept me engaged throughout the entire time. The colors, you know, being obviously in this era of when the space was happening, you know, you have a lot more colorful costume design or clothing and cars, and so it just makes for a more colorful movie and vibrant movie, alongside bringing some imagery of, you know, space and the rocket ships and the stars and Earth and the moon. It just makes it for a very dazzling movie to see on screen. And I think the shot choice and the directing and just the cinematography was all so beautiful. And I just really love the way this movie ended. I thought it was just such a nice ending for everybody. Everybody kind of leaves in a very happy spot. It just made for a very entertaining ending, a very satisfying ending. Obviously, with the Apollo mission, that is something that's real, that we were successful in getting onto the moon, but just also everything surrounding the Apollo mission within this movie, of course, just feels like it all kind of had a proper ending and a satisfying ending that I thought was just so palpable and just very entertaining and just such an enjoyable time. Now going on into the cons, and I don't have much here. I pretty much enjoyed this entire movie, but in terms of it being advertised kind of like as a comedy, I don't think the comedy aspect was that strong. For the most part, most of the jokes didn't land for me, no pun intended. But it just didn't land for me, where for the most part you'll get at least a chuckle out of me or just a little I think I had maybe one or two moments where I've actually had a genuine laugh out loud moment. Everybody else in the audience, it was a pretty packed theater, surprisingly, but everybody else in the audience seemed to really enjoy the comedy. They were laughing a lot louder than I was, for sure. But for me personally, I don't think the comedy really hit as hard as it should have. I think this just kind of having this playful fun with it was just enough. It didn't need to be a laugh out loud comedy, because overall this is still kind of feels like a serious movie with having some comedy elements in it. But I do think the comedy was a little lackluster overall. And there was like a running joke throughout the entire time that I thought was kind of silly. You know, it's fun. Like I said, it plays into that fun nature of it. But having just this like black cat running around NASA throughout the entire time, and Channing Tatum chasing him, and, you know, thinking it's bad luck and stuff like that, it was a running joke that was funny to a certain point, but it led for a very funny payoff towards the third act. But overall, it was just something that wasn't necessarily necessary, in my opinion. So, you know, not really a big cat person either, so there's that as well, where this cat was just kind of roaming around for like a big running joke throughout the entire film that I didn't think was really that necessary. But overall, let me know what you guys thought about Fly Me to the Moon. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. I would love to hear it. And again, if you guys like talking about movies, TV shows, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next review. Thank you.